Cambrian era oceans were extremely warm, had a great increase in oxygen from its previous period, and had more access to nutrient-filled areas which were not accessible before by water. This increase in oxygen also increased the metabolic rates of animals, which essentially allowed them to have higher energy levels and, most importantly, more complex organ system. And that's where the animal we'll be studying today comes in, Opavinia. Adaptations are physical changes or behavioral changes in animals that help them cope with climate or better suit their situation and environment. This is Opavinia. These guys could grow up to 8 centimeters, though most of them are between 4 to 7 centimeters. Here's a human for scale. They're about the size of a normal adult finger. They belong to the arthropod phylum along with the rest of my nightmares. They have a couple unique features, first of which being their proboscis. These were clawed and were 1/3 the length of their body, and scientists believe that they were used to put food into their mouth, which were located under them, like a stingray. These were specially adapted to reach into the seafloor and crevices to hunt and put food into those mouths, which couldn't chew. These mouths also faced backwards, which allowed them to have a digestive tract form a U-bend on its way towards the rear of the animal, which increased feeding efficiency. Moving onward from the mouth and proboscis, a normal person would notice those 5 weird eyes. They were stalked and had 2 in the front looking forward, 2 looking sideways, and a big one in the middle looking up. This was adapted to give them 360-degree vision to spot prey as they scanned across the sea floor, and possibly look for bigger predators at the time like Amolocaris. Now when they spotted their prey, how would they move over? Scientists believe that they would move their specially adapted segments or rippled its numeral lateral lobes in sequence for very slow swimming. However, some people believe that it actually had limbs that just didn't fossilize and they would crawl along the sea floor. Its tail was adapted to be V-shaped for stability, which is still used in many animals today. As for its ancestors, it didn't really have much. All it had was worms with segmented bodies as well. So instead I'll talk about what features other animals have copied and evolved from. I say copied because Opavinia isn't a direct ancestor to any of our modern animals, but its unique features definitely inspired some evolutionary changes in other animals. First off, the proboscis. The proboscis we are referring to is the one on insect, not like the proboscis monkey. Nowadays, proboscis are used on things like butterflies and assassin bugs and lots of other arthropods. Assassin bugs use their proboscis like a weapon similar to the clawed one on Opavinia, using it to stab at prey like a needle. Butterflies go in a different path, opting them to use this as liquid suckers. Second, the stalked eyes. Many stalked eyes have taken over the Earth's meta, and with crabs and lobsters and snails and so much more using them. Now most importantly, the segmented bodies. Many Cambrian explosion animals featured these segmented bodies, which is heavily used nowadays in all animals ranging from armadillos to lobsters and from worms to all other bugs. This evolutionary adaptation is great for enhancing mobility, flexibility, and specialization. As for traits and its cellular organelle related to those traits, one of them is the compound eyes. Their cellular organelle would be the rhodopsin proteins, which are found in photoreceptor cells and is essential for vision, which will be super essential in its 360-degree vision. It had a long proboscis that put food into its mouth. Now, how would it digest this food? It would use endoplasmic reticulum or ER and Golgi apparatus. The ER would synthesize proteins and lipids needed for building digestive enzymes, while the Golgi apparatus processes and packages these substances for actual use. Finally, respiration. Mitochondria is the most likely cellular organelle used for it. It produces ATP through cellular respiration, which gives the energy required to move. I couldn't find anything else on this fossil, so cue the outro.